So, Gino, let me just dissect what you said because the 1% rule, you got a 1% rule and almost just under 1% on a new product,
On a new
right?
product.
If you're buying an old product, you have to be well above, well better than 1%. In other words,
Yes.
you said 70,000 per door and we're 70 something in the 70s. And then you're trying to collect $1,000 rent, right? That's on
Yes.
an older product. On the newer one, you said 180,000 a door and the rent is 1,700.
17, 1800. But the
You're
newer
almost
properties,
1% on a new product, right?
y-
That means you're buying well.
that's phenomenal. It's phenomenal because they're easier to manage. So the whole idea is when you're looking at your portfolio, what you're trying to do is you're trying to balance your own portfolio. There's going to be some opportunities that are complete value add where you're going to make a killing. You want to work on the equity. There's so much upside. You can't continue to buy all those assets all of the time in your portfolio because you don't have the bandwidth to do that. We have CapEx crews that are working on those assets that are older. This asset is a lot easier to manage. The managers love this because the resident base is higher. The median income is in the 80,000s, probably between 80 and 90,000. There's no capex. It's such an easy turn. So right now where we are in our portfolio, it also fits the strategy that we're employing. We have a little bit of value add going on over here. We have this asset that's stable. It's going to cash flow for us pretty well. And over the long term, over the next 2 to 3 years, we're not going to have to do a roof. We're not going to have to do a driveway. Decks are great. There's not much that's required to manage that asset. So that's what I'm saying. When you're looking at your buying ability, you need to understand what your portfolio looks like, what your requirements are. I mean, we got caught, Mike, back in 2023. We did a 130 unit property in February. We did a 105 unit property in July. And then we did a 97 unit in December in 2023. They were all three significant value adds. There was so much work involved. We had to hire so many CapEx members that it stressed us out. It stressed the portfolio out. I mean, like when you have like 300 plus units going on all at once, it's a lot of work to do. So when you're buying these newer assets, there's a lot less requirement from that end, and they're also a lot easier to manage as well.
Yeah, I really appreciate your brilliance here because you're really stating obvious, sort of the obvious, common sense type of thing, but these things are not common. Capacity, ability to execute, bite what you can chew, is critical. So if you
You know
bite
why,
more than you
Mike?
can chew,
I got to cut you off.
you
I,
choke.
I got to cut you off real quick. I'm sorry. I'm going to let you finish your thought. But it's common sense to me because I have not been able to execute. I made those mistakes. And I'm like, well, why did I make that mistake? I outgrew my infrastructure. I've done it so many times. I've learned that mistake. And I'm just telling people here right now, just make sure that you just because there's a deal out there and maybe you can execute that deal, can you execute the business plan of the deal? And if you can't, no deal is better than a bad deal. I've learned that one as well. So make sure it fits your business plan. Make sure you understand what the exit strategy is. See, on some of these value adds, we can sell these things and make a ton of capital, or we can refinance these things. On these newer assets, we're going to hold them for the next 3 to 5 years. They're on credit unions right now. We're going to push them off to Fannie in the next 3 to 5 years when rates drop. There's not much of a cash out potential, but it doesn't matter. We're going to be making between 8 and 10% on a brand new asset that's easy to manage. So just be aware when you're trying to position and grow your portfolio, you may have to say to yourself, well, I can do this much with the complete value add. I may want to do this much. And oh, by the way, what's wrong with investing passively in somebody's deal? If you've got excess capital and you don't have all the time in the world and you want to park some money in somebody's deal as a limited partner, there's nothing wrong with that. You're really spreading your eggs around and you're not stressing your infrastructure out as well.